This is Andy Gutierrez from StarWars.com, and you are listening to Coffee with Kenobi with Dan Z. This is the podcast you're looking for.
This is James Arnold Taylor, and you're listening to Coffee with Kenobi. I have a good feeling about this.
Hey, hello everybody, and welcome back to CWK Live every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm your host, Dan Zare. Thrilled to be talking Star Wars with each and every one of you. Well, how's it going, everybody? It's great to see all of you here on CWK Live. Looking forward to a great conversation. We've got plenty to talk about with all of these amazing shows that are provided for us by Disney and Lucasfilm. Brian is here. Hello, Brian. This is the Tuesday. Great to see you, Brian. Hello, Minta. This is the way. It's CWK Day. Mary is here, too. Happy Mando and Bad Batch Eve. Can't believe Bad Batch is almost over. I know. Isn't that kind of a bummer? I've really enjoyed Bad Batch a lot this year. Jason, good evening, everyone. Excited to be here with you always. Good to see you, Jason. And LJ is back. Hello, LJ. Good to see you, my friend. Well, on the show today, we've got your top 5 moments from Star Wars The Bad Batch Tipping Point and The Mandalorian The Foundling. We've got some great Star Wars merchandise to look at, and your comments and questions. Darren is here too. Hello, Darren. Good to see you. He says the last of the batch is here soon. Yes, it is. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's brewing in the world of Star Wars this week.
And now, let's see what's brewing in the Star Wars universe this week.
So, some great new merchandise coming out, and I've got some things to show you as well. Let's take a look at some new information. Ben says, good evening. It all goes back to normal in 2 weeks. Only one Star Wars show to cover. That will be just fine with me. It will be a lot less mileage on the podcast tires, but you know what? It's a labor of love. It's great fun. So we've got Pike Soldier. This is a member of the Black Series action figure line. It was just revealed today. I like the articulation here. I've not seen the figure in person. No one has unless you're working for Hasbro. But it's really a really nice looking figure. So there's the Pike Soldier. Now this is one I thought of some of our friends in the CWK Cafe, like Ian Thompson, for example. These are Vintage Collection Tusken Raiders box. And you see some of the assortments that come with it. So it's not just the classic brown cloak with the brown robe and the brown hood, but this is a variety of figures. It looks like from the Book of Boba Fett to me. Daniel says, less homework next week. Exactly. It's true. Now for Mando Mania. The other two figures were also for Mando Mania. Again, Hasbro revealed that today. But you've got 2 brand new soaps from Dr. Squatch. You've got Beskar Tar and Force Fresh featuring Grogu. These are a lot of fun. I got the Obi-Wan Kenobi Dr. Squatch soap, and I love it. It really works quite well, and it doesn't give that soapy feeling, but this isn't a commercial. I'm just saying I like it, and I think you'll like it too. Plus, that box is pretty cool, and I love that Beskar Tar. That's sweet. Mita says she's loving the Tusken Raiders. They are nice. This is the first time I've been really tempted to buy one of those collectibles as far as in those boxes. I need one more top 5 for Bad Batch. Can I copy someone? Yes, and Ben, I'll let you in a secret. We won't even know. So you are safe, buddy. You're safe. So we've got Showdown on Runic. Star Wars The Old Republic. Brand new edition for the video game. Pretty cool. And then you've got a Grogu Easter plush. Now, one of my students actually surprised me with this last week. These are available at Target. And I came into school, and he came in when I did, and I didn't even notice it. And he put it on my desk, which is really, really cool. So thank you, Mr. Whisker, for that. That was a fun surprise. It is now part of my classroom decorations. So now what I need to do is show you some pretty cool stuff. And of course, I left it in the other room. So talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. What can I show you in the meantime? Hey, how about an old promo? Do I have a promo? I'll show you a promo from an old CWK promo. This show that came out a couple of weeks ago, but I'm just doing it to stall so that I can go get all the other merchandise. Be right back.
I would say I tend to get the club sandwich. Sounds
That's right. I remember.
Club.
I remember.
I get such flack for that.
Yeah,
It's
so
so
good.
bad. But I enjoy it. It's fun. It's good. It's like a little turkey and bacon and like lettuce, maybe mayonnaise, like toasted, and it's delicious. I get it
You're
a lot.
a little turkey, and I love that.
It
thank you very
is a
much.
little
About you.
party in bread.
Yeah, it is.
There's a lot
It's
going
good
on in a
time.
club sandwich. You're right.
It's a lot going on with Corey Club. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep my finger on the rim shot because I feel like
Love is the smell of coffee. The other one is like the sugar cookie candle smell.
that is a great smell.
Yeah.
I mean, cinnamony Christmas stuff is like the best way to, like I've always said, if I was in the forest and you needed to trap a Dan, put that smell underneath the box and that would work.
Apples and peanut butter.
But is a good blessing. All right. I am surrounded by goodness here. Surrounded by Julie says must be dinner time in Chi-Town. Well, it was just dinner time a little bit ago. Daz is here. What's up, dude? Everyone is super late here, but want to say hi. Have a great live show, Daz. Hello. Looking forward to seeing you next week at Celebration, buddy. Looking forward to it. Daniel says, dead air, that's always the worst. Oh, Julie, you're still working. Look at that. Ben says, Trap a Dan, what a classic line. Yeah, that was fun. This week we actually looked at, I can show you this. Oh, I didn't post it. Well, of course I didn't. We looked at Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars, the 1984 comic book. Back from 1984. Imagine that. But we decided, we've wanted to look at classic comic books for a really long time now. So it just kind of seemed like Secret Wars was a great place to do that. Let me show you. I actually do have it. Let me show you a picture. There we go. That is the cover of number 1. This was actually my gateway into the world of Marvel Comics besides Spider-Man comics. So that is, if you're a member of the CWK Alliance, you get access to pour over each and every week. It's at coffeewithkenobi.com/CWK Alliance. And this is where you can support me and you get a lot of great audio and video podcasts that are exclusive to you. All right, let's look at this. So you may have seen the video of this. I posted on Twitter and Instagram. I even put it on our TikTok, which is probably kind of dusty at this point because I don't use it very much. But when I do, that's where I do a lot of my unboxings and things like that. But Hasbro sent over a lot of great stuff. Minta says you can never beat the classics. Agreed. So I got a number of these little beauties. This is series number 5. You've got this version of Grogu. It looks like Mason says he's doing a dab. I'm not sure if that's a dab or not. But it is adorable because it's Grogu. Here's the next one. This is him. This is one of my favorites. This is him chewing on a bar of Beskar. This is one I'm tempted to open up because I just like the look of Beskar anyway when it's in that bar form. And this is Grogu with the Darksaber. Now this doesn't happen, as far as I know, in the series, but it is a pretty cool little image there as well. The other two that they sent along with me, Mason's already absconded and he has them in his own little collection, so we don't have those to show you right now. Ben says, I thought the Beskar was chocolate for a second, and that is a missed merchandising opportunity because I think that's a great idea. They also sent over the Mandalorian and Beskar Black Series, as well as a Dark Trooper. So that's pretty cool. Really happy to see those. Let me navigate a few of these around. I also have what we call Wild Riding Grogu. It's animatronic, spins around, and of course, Grogu's almost got that bobblehead thing going, so that's awfully cute. Again, because it's Grogu. They also sent over this deluxe vintage collection Paz Vizsla, which I really, really like a lot. Comes with that massive artillery. And there's what the back of the box looks like. And then we've got, let's see. Oh, yeah. Let me show you this. The Navarro Cantina. I really like this a lot. It comes with some of the bottles and the little stools to sit at. It even comes with an Imperial Death Trooper action figure. And it's a really, really nice play set. Let's see. What else do we have? You must need to build an edition for all that merch. So some of it I open and use. Some of it I store. Some of it I use for giveaways. And some of it I use for, I give to Mason, or we just give away to other kids. So it's fun. It's a nice blessing. We've also got this. This is the Mandalorian and Grogu. And it's galactic action. It makes fun little sounds. Let's see if I can get it to work.
Time's up, kid. We gotta get out of here.
So in all of these, Grogu always makes some sort of... It's Mando saying something, Grogu says something cute. For example. All right, now here's the big one. And this is going to blow your mind. I would blow my mind. Look what else they sent me. This is the Bo-Katan helmet. The Black Series helmet from Hasbro. I have not yet opened this up yet. There's a reason why. Mina says that a little electric Grogu is so cute, it would probably drive my younger dog crazy, though. It probably would. And Darren says, oh, wow, nice helmet. So this is what I would like to do. I want to do a giveaway. But I want to do a really special giveaway that helps bring attention to our amazing community and also rewards people who are just regulars of CWK Live that support me, that help the show, that are members of the CWK Alliance. So it's great. So I think I want to give away that helmet. I think I want to give away that helmet to somebody who supports Coffee with Kenobi, because I appreciate all of you so much. I don't need any more collectibles. I'm great on collectibles. I like the helmet. It's very, very cool. But I want to give it away. I want to give it away to one of you. Now, what's a fair way that we can give it away? I don't want to do trivia. Oh, I guess we could do trivia where everybody answers and I put names in a hat. So if you have any other suggestions for that, let me know and I will send that helmet over to you. Now let's do a deadline on it. I'm going to be very busy before Celebration London next week. So I won't have time to go to the post office and send it off. But I think that's a good plan. What do you all think? Let me know in the comments as you're thinking about that. In the meantime, let's go ahead and jump into our top fives. We've got your top 5 moments from the Foundling, which is, of course, the Mandalorian, and then from Tipping Point, the penultimate week before the finale of Star Wars The Bad Batch Season 2. So, penultimate, of course, means second to last. There are 2 episodes that are coming out tomorrow for The Bad Batch. However, those episodes, you're getting 2 in one week. Brian says, very nice gesture, Dan. Well, thank man. It's my pleasure, buddy. Daniel says, very gracious of you. Hey, I'm happy to do it. Julie says, names in a hat have Mason picked. That's probably a great way to go. I have not yet dropped the news to Mason that we're not keeping the helmet, but I think he kind of knows. Ben says, how about share a post from the cafe? Ooh, what if we did all of the above? What if we did all of the above and drew a name out of a hat? That would be so much fun. I like it. I'm formulating a plan. I will try to write up a web post and we'll figure out something to do. Jason says, trivia sounds good to me, or you could just put names in the helmet and draw one at random. I think you did that once before. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's good. All right, so what do we want to do first? Bando, which is a combination of Bad Batch and Mandalorian, for those of you keeping score at home. Should we do Mandalorian first, or should we look at the Bad Batch first? We usually go one direction, but since we're in such a good vibe of selecting things, let me know. Let me know what you want to do first. We can start with the Mandalorian first, or we can start with the Bad Batch first. If I had like I wish I had that Jeopardy theme for like a sound effect. I think that would be pretty fun. Again, we have got a fun show, Foundling and Tipping Point. LJ says, how about a push-up challenge? I think we would all do well on that. Ben says he would vote for that if he was 20 again. Okay, there you go. Mando? Okay, that's Mando. Jason says batch, so we got one of each. Brian says batch, so 2 for batch, 1 for Mando. Anybody else? Daniel says Bad Batch, so now we've got 3 for Bad Batch and 1 for Mando. And I'll give it a second. Oh, Julie says Bad Batch. Minta says Bad Batch. It's looking like, I'm no math major, but it looks like we're going on the Bad Batch first. And that's fun. Let's do it. Number 5 for me is Flying Lessons. The sequence where Omega and Tech are flying around in the Marauder, and she does that cool little move where she basically skids out and turns around and goes the other direction. Was really, really fun. This episode obviously had some serious moments in it, but I like that moment. I like seeing Omega grow. So that's number 5 for me. Brian's 5, Echo's rescue team and their efficient extraction of the clones. Yes, they are a well-oiled machine, as we know. And it's very, very fun to see. Mary's 5, the rescue of Hauser and the remainder of his squad at every Clone Wars field. So much. It very much did. Daniel's number 5 is Tech's driving school, similar to mine. That's great. Minta's 5, flying lessons. Is she even old enough to drive? Right? I wonder what the rules are for flying and how old you have to be in the world of Star Wars. And 5 for Jason is Senator Chuchi's continued support and advocacy for the clones and their rights. Thank you, Jason. Is Henrik at basketball again? Tell him we said hello. Awesome. Well, is that it for everybody for number 5? But I don't want to leave anybody out. There we go. Ben's 5 is Hemlock's nerve gas. Of course, he would make a gas only he is immune to. Yeah, he is just he is a seedy character. That is for sure. A very seedy character. Okay, let's take a look. Darren says you're right. The flying lesson was good and funny. Yeah, I agree. It was a blast. It was an absolute blast. All right, let's look at number 4. Number 4 for me of this episode of The Bad Batch is Wrecker thriving. And it's not really, it's just, I think Hunter points it out. But it's great to see Wrecker. Wrecker's usually a pretty happy fellow. I never really felt like he was depressed, and I still don't think that. But seeing him just have unbridled joy and just being able to be like, just youthful and happy and not worry about combat. Again, he's not someone who worries about combat. He doesn't seem to be a depressed type person by any stretch of the imagination. But seeing him happy and in his own element and being okay with being happy, not being restless, is just a really cool example of mental health, I think. So really impressive. Number 4 for Brian is reintroduction of Gregor. Yes, although it's quite brief, that particular cadence is unmistakable, and that was pretty cool. 4 for Mary is Tech and Omega's flying lesson, and her great welcome back to Echo after the race to the landing area. We all love that part. It's so fun. Oh, Jason said Henrik is at basketball. Didn't have time to watch Bad Batch. He has a much busier social life than his dad. Bob's top 5 for Mando. Yeah, please let him know I said hi. That's great. Ben's 4, Dr. Hemlock is impressed with Crosshair's initiative to kill his commanding officer. Again, he's so sinister, endorsing mutiny, talking about clones like their property. Yeah, you're right. I found that to be a really interesting aspect of the seedy underbelly that is Dr. Hemlock. Jason's next one is Echo and Omega's heartwarming reunion, especially seeing Echo's reciprocate Omega's affection. Number 4 for Minta is the return of Gregor. So cool. Daniel's 4 is the shot of the Imperial ship departing the planet. What a great scene of scale. And the guys come in and do their thing. That was insanely cool. I agree with you. Insanely cool. All right, let's go to number 3. Hauser rescued. A few of you talked about Hauser, and when we first reviewed the episode, I didn't quite put it together because I just had a lot of clones jumbled in my brain. But yes, Hauser being back, because we saw him in season 1 on Ryloth, was great to see. It's good to know that he's okay and that he's going to be teaming up with the clones. He's a great character too. So just like Mayday. So it was great to see Hauser back and to see him safe. Number 3 for Brian, the irony that Dr. Hemlock developed and became immune to his own poison. I thought about Wesley from Princess Bride with iocane powder, but Hemlock is not someone I am rooting for. No, and I know exactly what you're saying. Jason's 3 is Omega's flying lessons and Tech's facial expression during her maneuvers. I love that she has the keys to the family car and takes advantage of it. Plus, the tech turn. So good. Such a great little expression. Mary's 3 is Wrecker's joy being able to help the citizens of Pabu. Great to see all of them in good spirits. It really is. And like I said for 4, it's good to see them happy. 3 for Darren. Crosshair's moved to escape and how far he got, plus the fact that he did get a message out, which was so cool. Ben's 3. Echo and the clones are going about saving their brothers. It's a very noble mission for Echo. Very much so. Great to see, and I hope we get to see more of it. I could do a whole spin-off personally of seeing clones rescuing one another. I think that'd be awesome. Minta 3 is Wrecker helping the people of Pabu. He seems so content of helping others instead of fighting, which is wonderful. And Daniel's 3, Echo and Omega reuniting. Oddly, no music accompanied it. No, it didn't. And I feel like whenever you do that, that's of course such a very concentrated, specific choice. And I feel like, and definitely tell me if I'm wrong, or if you have another point of view, that'd be great. I feel like that kind of emphasizes the emotion because it's not, you don't have to do any kind of imagination because you just haven't invested so much in these characters that you can just sort of see it come to life and just enjoy the moment as it is. And that's great. There's some similar moments like that in The Empire Strikes Back. Not many, but they are there. Julie 3. Nerve gas by a man whose name literally means poison. Yeah, literally. Not figuratively. Literally does. You were so right about that. Let's go to 2. Crosshair's escape. I put it in quotes because he doesn't escape, but he comes close. He has a great sequence with the blaster. He does his very best to escape, even though he's quite weakened, and then he sends out his signal rather quickly before things go really, really sour for him, and he gets exposed to that gas. But it's a great scene. Very exciting. Minta's number 2 is Echo and Rex finding creative ways to save their fellow clone troopers, which is fantastic. 2 for Mary is the reluctance of Hemlock's assistant at the end of the episode. When he starts torturing Crosshair again. We need to know her story. I know, and I hope we get to find it out. I hope that it's just not something that we never get to find out about. Ben says he agrees sometimes music overplays the feeling. I prefer the silence. Yeah, it's cool. It's definitely a choice, and it's a good one. 2 for Brian is Crosshair's reluctance to give up his squad mates, which is nice to see finally. Jason's 2 is Crosshair's resistance and defiance of the Empire. I really hope this means he's turned a corner and is on his way to rejoining his brothers and sisters in the Bad Batch. I do too, and I hope he gets that chance. 2 for Ben is Omega's flying lessons. Not only does she get to do the tech turn, but Tech likes the name. Yeah, it's great. So fun. That would be a great t-shirt. The tech turn. Let's go to number 1. Number 1, I have coming together. I like how you've got Echo, you've got the core members of the Bad Batch, and you've got Crosshair. While he's clearly quite indisposed, I like the feeling, the sensation that all of these plot lines from the beginning of season 1 are all coming together and coalescing into something that we hope will be a spectacular finale to season 2. And it's great. This has been such a wonderful season for storytelling. Daniels 2 is that the Mount Tantus scores as Crosshair is being left to the medical lab room. Why is him like always massaging his hand? I never noticed that, but you're right. Maybe there's some sort of weird tick there or something. I don't know. We'll find out. Number 1 for Minta, Crosshair warning this old crew the dangers ahead. Here's hoping he's turning a new leaf and leaving the Empire behind. Yeah, I think that ship has sailed, and I agree with you. I think that's going to happen. Number 1 for Brian, the genuine joy that Clone Force 99 is having on Pabu. So nice to see. Number 1 for Jason, the opening scene. Rex, Echo, Gregor, and the other clones so efficiently liberating their captive brothers. And Hauser lives, which is fantastic to see. Number 1 for Darren, the work trying to get the data out of the computer to find out what is going on with the clones, which was really exciting. And I love that just because he has that special attachment on his hand that it's not an automatic. Like, I like that it's a challenge. Otherwise, it's too easy. Number 1 for Mary, Crosshair getting the message out to the others. He wasn't worried about actually escaping, but getting a communication device to send the warning. Yeah, I never thought about that. He wasn't trying to escape. He's trying to warn. Huh. Good call, Mary. Number 1 for Ben, Crosshair spares the Doctor. It shows he's capable of mercy, after all, paving a path to making him redeemable. Julie's number 1, a possible setup to reunite Crosshair back into the family. I hope we get to see that, Julie. I really do. Daniel's 1 is Crosshair's escape. Generally got a feeling he was impaired, yet still determined to not get out, but a message to his team. Yeah, and we know that Crosshair is very focused in his beliefs, and he doesn't flip-flop with that. Excellent. Well, now it's time. Let's do some not bad bets. Let's talk about the Mandalorian, shall we? Tipping. This is the Foundling. I'm optimistic that this will actually be the first time that all of us are tied without planning it of our number 1. We'll see. I feel like we got a good shot here. We'll see how it goes. Number 5 for me is Dad. When we find out that Paz Vizsla not only is a father, but that's his son who was kidnapped by that raptor, or captured by that raptor. I'd say that's probably a better term. It's a great little sequence, and it's a very important sequence because it gives some humanity to Paz Vizsla. And suddenly this kid becomes a lot more important to us, because even though Paz Vizsla is not like a standout character, he's mostly just a grumpy, it just gives him a little bit of heart, and I like that. But that was cool. Number 5 for Brian, the opening scene with all the Mandos in training. Excellent. 5 for Minta, Grogu versus Mando's youngling. Matter size is not. Oh, I see what you did there, Minta. Very clever. Jason's 5 is the shot of Bo-Katan's ship flying towards the sun, which is a great shot. Good call. Henrik's 5 is Grogu winning the challenge against Ragnar. That was awesome, too. 5 for Ben, 1 doesn't speak unless one knows. I know it's a good saying that makes you think. To me, this is about humility. Absolutely, and not saying anything unless you actually know what you're talking about. Mary's 5, Bo leads the rescue team. The respect the other Mandos give her, then bringing back 3 new foundlings. Yes. 3 little buddies. 5 for Darren, amazing how short the episode was. Yeah. And whenever there's a short one at first, I always think, oh man, there's not going to be more. And then I also think, oh cool, it'll probably pack a punch. Daniel's 5 is the dad theme with Paz and Mando. Hope we see them find common ground. And yeah, I'm hoping that groundwork has already been laid. We'll find out really soon. Let's see. I think I got everybody who's been weighing in. Let's double check. Let's go to number 4. Number 4, I have the Forge metaphor. The notion that, which I never really quite connected until it was beautifully fleshed out and explained here. But going to the Forge for the Mandalorian, for Grogu, for the Armorer, is not only about fixing steel, but healing your soul and forging your mind and your body and your soul together and making peace and mending and fixing whatever has bothered you. It opens up, of course, a great sequence, which I'm sure we'll get to later. But I just like that Forge metaphor. It's just really beautifully done. Really beautifully done. Minta's 4 is Bo-Katan leads the rescue to save the boy. The boy Ragnar. 4 for Mary Bo talking to Grogu as if she were his mother. She and Din are definitely giving a mom and dad vibe. Well, that's interesting. That's true. 4 for Ben is Paz lets Bo stay by the fire. Small gesture. but is all slowly converting her back to the Mandalorian traditions. Yes, slowly but surely. 4 for Jason, the Armorer's education of Grogu in the way of Mandalore, and the flashbacks that seem to occur when a Mandalorian sits before the forge and listens to its sound. Oh yeah, it's so great. I like how you explained that. Hendrix 4, the flashback to Grogu's escape from the Jedi Temple. Cool. Brian's 4 is Paz Vizsla giving Bo the privilege to sit at the fire to eat. Oh, that's a good one. If I'd remembered that, that would have been ranked on my list quite high. But that's a cool one. A very, very cool one. Good call, Brian. Appreciate that. All right. Let's go to number 3. Grogu and rocks. Grogu at the beginning is sitting there looking at these little rocks that are actually creatures. It's also metaphorical, looking beyond the surface. It also is a nice reminder that, again, Grogu is not only called the child, but he is the child. And while he's very mature and sophisticated in some ways, he still has that wonderful, exuberant innocence that he's maintained despite seeing a lot of crazy, sometimes tragic, nasty things. It was very peaceful seeing him with the rocks like that for many reasons. Daniel's 4 was Grogu and the simple action he did with walking briskly behind armor into the cave while training looking back up into Mando. Yeah, I like that too. Minta's 3 is the forge metaphor. I think we'll see more of that down the road. Yeah, I hope so. Mary's 3 is Grogu communicating with the crabs on the beach. They all scampered off when Din took Grogu away. It really has a special connection with the creatures. I agree. And this is unrelated, but whenever someone says the word scamper, I get very, very happy. It's just an adorable word. So thank you, Mary. That's pretty fun. And you're right, too. Darren's 3, Bo-Katan and how the situation evolved. Dorothy takes charge of the search and rescue group. Yeah, that was cool. And the mutual respect there, too. From both sides. Well, I guess that's what mutual means. Okay. Jason's 3, the Mandalorians taken in the 3 recently orphaned raptor younglings. Very interesting that they extend their concept of the Foundlings even to non-intelligent creatures. I was surprised by that, too. Hendrix 3 is a continued use of "this is the way." Right on, man. Ben's 3, Mando plays dad, but Bo-Katan also kind of plays mom. She gives Grogu an encouraging message before the challenge. They make a good partnership to raise little Grogu. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Daniel's 3 is the whole Mando training day in the Dart game. Do they do that every day? Doesn't sand get everywhere? Ooh, Daniel, good. Ding, ding, ding. What's that deserves a rim shot. Doesn't sand get everywhere? Very nice. Brian's 3, Bo's ship chasing the Raptor with the sunset in the background. We need a poster of that. That would be awesome. I would be very down with that. Or maybe somebody will do some art of that someday, because that's a great call. A fantastic call. Let's go to number 2. Grogu's training. Similar to what Daniel and some of you have been talking about. But when Grogu is holding back and the Mandalorian catches this and says, "I've seen what you can do. Basically, you're safe. You don't have to hide your force abilities. Let's do it." And he flips over, boom, 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 3 darts right away. It was great. I was hoping that's where they would go with it, and I think we all sort of had a sense. But it was still fun to see the execution of it, the puppetry. It was just a blast, an absolute blast. Let's see. 2 for Mary the Armorer, taking Grogu into the cave and forges a breastplate for him. She also wants to teach him of the Mandalorian way. Yes, she does. And she's very patient with him. I didn't know how that was going to work, so I'm glad that she was. Meantime, when the Armorer and Bo were conversing after the rescue and brought 3 more younglings, they discussed about the mythosaur she saw in Mandalore. In turn, the Armorer states it's a sign of sorts. Could we see this creature again? I hope so. 2 for Darren Ahmed, best return to the Star Wars universe. Kelleran had an awesome introduction. Yes, he did. Very good. Jason's 2. Din Djarin taking a step forward in parenting by entering Grogu in the challenge. Grogu got hops. Yes, he does. He had some Air Grogus on, didn't he? Hendrix 2 is Grogu's new piece of armor. Let's see. Brian, the sole lesson that the Armorer gives Grogu in the Forge, which is awesome and very insightful. Ben's 2 is Bo telling the Armorer about the mythosaur. I don't think she trusted telling Din just yet, but the covert has softened her heart enough for her to open up about it. I like that perspective, Ben. Daniel's 2 is the Mando eating ritual and the whole war party lessons that Bo is learning. All right, so I don't think it's going to happen because somebody already was shared a great moment. But let's see. How many of us can get this exact same number one just by coincidence? I mean, to me, it's Keller and Beck, right? When that happened, I gasped. You know, Ahmed Best is such a great guy. A lot of people have talked about this for a while, especially last week. I had the good fortune to interview Ahmed Best on Coffee with Kenobi 2 summers ago when Jedi Temple Challenge came out. But we talked about Keller and Beck and him coming up with the history of this character. So I highly encourage you to go listen to that episode again. I'll post a link later. But he's a great guy. That's a fun character. And seeing him with that ultimate swagger and style and getting such an important, integral part in the Star Wars universe and what it's like to be a Jedi and why that's important. It was absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I couldn't have loved it anymore. Let's see. I'm trying to remember where we left off before. Oh, yeah. Daniels 2 is a Mando eating ritual, which we talked about. The whole War Party lessons that Bo is learning. Fabulous stuff. One for me to Keller and Beck. So there's 2 people. It was a joy to see Ahmed Best return to the screen, and this is an amazing character, and I hope we can see more of him in the franchise. I do too. Brian, Keller and Beck saving Grogu. He earned his Jedi robes and his Kyber crystal from AD3. Boom, boom. Mary Order 66 flashback. Keller and Beck, mic drop. You got that right. Theron's one is a Grogu flashback revealing a little of his history, which is great to see. Jason's one is the continued evolution of Bo-Katan. Her low apparent change of heart is genuine, not just a newest perceived opportunity to seize power. I don't think it is, but I respect what you're saying there. I hope that's not the case too. Henriksen one is Keller and Beck, as is Julie's. Daniel's backstory of Grogu, the temple scenes, and Keller and Beck fight scene was so awesome. Yes, I agree. Brian says your podcast with Ahmed Best was amazing. With Ahmed Best was amazing. It was great storytelling. Well, thank you, Brian. I appreciate that, man. Ben's on one, Grogu's flashback and the return of Ahmed Best. I yelled when he appeared and just thought one word, redemption. Yeah. So I'm going to call it. I think we all pretty much nailed that. We all had some great perspectives there, and I love it. I love seeing what you've all caught, what moved you. And, you know, we, as Star Wars fans, I still think that while we have different ways and different things we value to different degrees, we still love this galaxy so much. And this was a great little exercise in that, how similar we all were, and almost in the exact same order, too. So bravo, everybody. You all deserve a round of applause. Let's give you a round of applause. Yes, nice work. Boom. All right, let's... next week, of course, we're going to have the next top 5. We're going to talk about the season 2 finale of The Bad Batch. 2 episodes tomorrow, and we're going to talk about both of them together. And then The Mandalorian Chapter 21. So, yes, basically, we're going to have 3 episodes. We're going to pack it up into 2 top 5, just like we did for the first episode and second episode of season 2 of The Bad Batch, and like we did for the middle part of the season, where we combine 2 together into 1. We're going to do the same thing here. And then, of course, Mandalorian Chapter 21. Daniel says he can't wait for more Grogu flashbacks. I can't either. Ben says, I love that Ahmed Best posted a thank you message on StarWars.com as well. That was special to know. He felt the outpouring of love and support. It was pretty magical. It was pretty magical. So that's next week. But speaking of next week, as you know, I will be going to Star Wars Celebration Europe. I will be going to London. I'll be gone quite a bit next week. But before I leave, we got to get our top 5 in, and we got to talk about your top 5 moments from the Summit and Plan 99 for The Bad Batch, and then Chapter 21 of The Mandalorian. So we will do that next Monday, April 3rd, at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. So synchronize your watches, put it in your phones, on your calendars, and get your notifications ready. Let your friends and family know that Monday, April 3rd at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, a special day and time. We're going to talk about the last 2 episodes of The Bad Batch and The Mandalorian Chapter 21. It's a special day and time. And then by that time, I should have a really good idea of what kind of coverage you can expect from me at Star Wars Celebration. Speaking of that, remember if you're going to be at Star Wars Celebration, It'll be on Friday, April 7th from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock. I will be on the podcast stage with my special guest, my good friend Adam Christopher, the New York Times bestselling author of Star Wars, Shadow of the Sith. That will be in the HoloNet News Stage, room 14. And the last couple times, and I think I said this before, but I have the Coffee with Kenobi as a record for the most appearances on the Star Wars Celebration podcast stage. Often it's standing room only, so if you're interested in coming along and listening to me and being a part of the show, be sure to get there early. That would be great. Julie says, have fun in London. Jealous of works pull me back. All right, well, Julie, have a good one. Thanks for joining us. Let's go ahead and jump into Ask Dan Z. Any streaming schedule yet? Not that I'm aware of, Daniel. I will try to check on that for you and let you know. But I've not heard anything about the streaming schedule. They usually post quite a few of the main panels or some of the side stuff, and there's always great interviews and things like that. You never know who you might see on the stream. I've been known to pop up on there on time or two, so who knows? Who knows, my friend? We're getting closer and closer to that Star Cruiser. At the time of this recording, we are exactly 76 days away from June 12th and the Galactic Star Cruiser event. My gosh, that is going to be so fun. Again, so many of you are going to join us. I can't wait. It will be Mason's birthday. I can't think of a better way to celebrate it than with all of you on the Galactic Star Cruiser. What do I hope to get at Celebration this time? You know, I want to look at the classic Kenner toys and some of the vendors. There's some great looking art that I'd like to take a look at. I don't have my eyes on any exclusives as far as I know, but I'm definitely going to keep my eyes open. I'm looking forward to. We know there's going to be a Hasbro panel with Star Wars and Indiana Jones releases, so I can't wait for that. Jason wants to know if I'm planning on seeing the D&D movie. I think the trailers are hilarious and can't wait. I am planning on seeing it. I'm very much looking forward to it, Jason. Minta, not a question, more of a statement. Keller and Beck needs his own spin-off show. Well, no complaints for me. No complaints for me. I agree, Minta. Mary wants to know, am I staying for all 4 days? You know what? I'm actually not. That is because I'm leaving Monday because school starts for me on Tuesday. I'm on spring break next week. So just the force was with me, and it worked out that I can go to Celebration. So I'll be there for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 3 of the 4 days. But Monday morning, which is a shame, there's going to be a Star Wars Vision stuff and Bad Batch, so I'm going to miss that because I will be in the air flying back to the States. But I'll be sure to get as much content as I can for those 3 days, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. Doing any English research while you are there? You know, I was there last summer with my family, and we had a great time, but I think I'm just going to be Star Wars guy and just really soak up the atmosphere that is Star Wars Celebration. You know, I'm going to get there a day early, so do a couple of quick things, but we're still kind of ironing that out. Don't forget that next week we're doing the live show, of course, but it's going to be a different schedule. It's going to be on Monday, same time, but it's going to be on Monday, like the old days. So we can finish off the Bad Batch, the Summon, and Plan 99, and then talk about the Mandalorian Chapter 21. Is Mason going to? No, unfortunately, he has school. He has spring break this week, so he's not able to join me, which stinks. Brian says, enjoy your trip across the pond, CWK all the way. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. 2 weeks from now, you'll host the Jet Lag CWK. You know what? I don't want to jinx it, Darren, but I don't get jet lag too much. And the secret is to just be really, really tired before I leave. That should say Monday. Before I leave. And I just make sure that I am... Let me see if I can fix this. Nope. Oh, gosh. Sorry. I'm just not good at doing two things at once. What I do is I automatically, as soon as I know I'm going to travel, acclimate to the new time. So if I can't go to sleep, that's good. I'll just wait and sleep on the plane because when I get home, I want to be ready to roll. Jason, have a great week. Can't wait for the Bad Batch. I can't either. Looking forward to it. Ben's going to miss next week because I'm in school. See you when you get home then. Sounds good, Ben. We'll definitely save a place for you. Thank you all so much for joining me My voice gets stronger and stronger with all this talking each week because I get to share all of your wonderful comments. So whether you're joining me now, live on Facebook or on Coffee with Kenobi's YouTube channel, or catching the replay on Facebook or any other places, or you're hearing the audio feed, we appreciate you so much, and we want to thank you for all you do to support me, this amazing Star Wars community, and Coffee with Kenobi. I will see you all next Monday for our special day and time. Enjoy these shows tomorrow, and remember, this is a live podcast you're looking for. See you next time, everybody.
This podcast is not endorsed by the Walt Disney Company or Lucasfilm Limited. It is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only. The official Star Wars website can be found at www.starwars.com. Star Wars, all names, sounds, and any other Star Wars-related items are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Disney and their respective trademark and copyright holders. All original content of this podcast is the intellectual property of Coffee with Kenobi unless otherwise indicated.
This is the podcast you're looking for.